General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, May 8th tease that Portia is feeling increasingly overwhelmed as she slowly realizes that things are spiraling out of her control. Drew's growing suspicion of her involvement in the drugging incident has placed her in a very precarious position. She had tried to hide everything carefully. But Drew's actions and his keen attention to small details have started to make her feel uneasy. Drew is not someone who is easily deceived. And although she believed she had successfully concealed the truth, she can no longer shake the feeling that everything is about to come to light. Portia, with all her finesse and talent for keeping secrets, now realizes that Drew is dangerously close to uncovering the suspicious traces she left behind. This fear is pushing her to act. And approaching Willow becomes a strategy that Portia hopes will help her uncover critical information that could stop Drew from exposing everything. She believes that Willow, although possibly a close friend of Drew's, may possess key insights into what Drew suspects or has already discovered. However, approaching Willow is no simple task. Willow is intelligent and perceptive, and if she senses that Portia is trying to extract information, it could trigger serious suspicion or even a strong reaction. Portia's anxiety and inner conflict are steadily intensifying. She cannot afford for either Drew or Willow to know she is trying to cover something up, as any discovery could threaten not only her career in the family and the organization but also her personal safety and reputation. Things become even more complicated as Portia realizes that Drew may already have enough clues to bring everything to light. His suspicions are not only making her fear the collapse of everything she's built but are also increasing the tension in her relationships with those around her. If Drew decides to act, it could lead to a major scandal, eroding the trust of her family and friends, and potentially landing her in serious legal jeopardy. Portia feels more and more trapped in an inescapable situation. She knows that if she doesn't do something immediately, Drew's investigation will continue, and by then, it might be too late to fix anything. Approaching Willow is a risky move, but for her, it's the only chance to gain the crucial information needed to control the situation before everything explodes. At the same time, Portia knows that every question Willow asks and every word she speaks could backfire, increasing suspicion and pushing her closer to an irreversible downfall. With this mounting pressure, Portia is not only fighting to keep her secret but also dealing with the emotional and psychological consequences that could follow if everything is exposed. She can't ignore the looming threat that Drew represents, someone who she knows won't overlook even the smallest clue. Meanwhile, maintaining the trust of those closest to her becomes more important than ever, especially as the dark truths begin to surface. At the same time, Portia is feeling anxious about her relationship with close friends like Willow. If she reveals that she's trying to get information from Willow, it could not only ruin their friendship but also shake the trust of everyone around them. Portia can't bear the thought that everything might collapse because of a foolish mistake she made in the past. She stands at a major crossroads, where every decision she makes could profoundly affect her future and the lives of those around her. These wild developments are not just a test of Portia's cunning and ability to keep secrets, they are also a brutal psychological battle. She cannot afford for the truth to be revealed. And every move she makes now could determine not only her own survival but also that of her family and loved ones. Every step is now a high-stakes gamble. And one wrong move could bring it all crashing down in an instant. Meanwhile, Jason, known for his toughness and strict nature, is now facing a situation he can neither ignore nor resolve as easily as past ones. The story surrounding Danny, his son, is becoming increasingly serious and poses a great danger not just to Jason's family but especially to Rocco, the son of Dante and Lulu. Danny's reckless and impulsive behavior is leading to severe consequences that Jason can no longer overlook. Though Danny is still young and often unaware of the consequences of his actions, he has unintentionally created a threat that Jason finds unacceptable. Danny has made careless choices, decisions that Jason sees as dangerously irresponsible, particularly when they involve the safety of Rocco, an innocent child in all of this. With Rocco becoming a target in a dangerous situation caused by Danny, Jason cannot stand idly by. Rocco is not part of Danny's bad decisions, yet he's being pulled into something that, if not stopped, could threaten his life. Jason, who values family and the safety of loved ones above all else, cannot allow his family to remain in danger. He isn't easily angered, but when things go too far and the people he cares about are threatened, he knows firmness and decisive action are necessary. For Jason, nothing is more important than family safety, and now that Danny has pushed things to this point, Jason has no choice but to step in. However, this is far from easy for him. As Danny is his son, and the bond between father and son makes every decision more painful. Although Jason is usually cold and firm in his professional life, when it comes to his son, things become far more complex. He knows that if he doesn't act now, the danger to Rocco will only increase, and if the situation continues, it could become irreversible. Jason's decision isn't just about punishing Danny, it's a powerful move to teach his son the serious consequences of reckless and irresponsible behavior. For Jason, discipline isn't about anger, it's part of teaching. He understands that sometimes being strict is necessary to help Danny grasp the gravity of his actions and to realize that poor decisions can hurt more than just himself. Danny's actions have not only caused tension in the family but could also lead to devastating loss if not handled in time. These events, though a huge shock to the family, are part of Danny's growth. Jason knows his son must learn to face the consequences of his actions. While the father-son relationship makes it painful, helping his son understand the importance of responsibility is vital. Still, for Jason, every crisis is also a chance to strengthen family bonds, even through pain and hardship. Yet this story is more than just a lesson, it's a tale of sacrifice and family love. Jason, no matter how much he loves his son, cannot ignore mistakes that endanger the family. The punishment Danny must face won't just open his eyes, it's also a way to protect the family and prevent more serious outcomes in the future. As Jason enforces harsh measures on Danny, he also wrestles with inner pain and guilt. But he understands that in their world, love and firmness cannot be separated. To protect his family and keep everyone safe, Jason sometimes has to set love aside and act with reason. Still, that doesn't make the decisions any less painful, because every choice he makes can forever change the lives of the ones he loves. This story is not just about punishment, but about growth, protection, and the sacrifices made out of love for family. Brad, who has previously been involved in many complicated and sometimes secretive relationships, now stands before a life-changing decision, one that could bring all the secrets he has long kept hidden into the light. He is fully aware that this time, deciding to expose Nina and Portia for their dangerous actions isn't just a chance to transform his own life, it would be a massive shock to everyone involved. Especially concerning the incident where Drew was drugged, a situation Brad knows better than anyone. And if he uses this information wisely, he could trigger unpredictable and powerful changes. Brad is not someone easily swayed by money or power, but this time is an exception. He sees that this opportunity won't just help him untangle the mess he's in but could also bring him rewards he never dared dream of. By exposing Nina and Portia, he could not only reveal the truth behind Drew's drugging but also potentially receive a large payout from individuals or organizations desperate to keep this secret buried. It's a chance to completely alter his destiny, and Brad knows he can't afford to ignore it. But things are not that simple. Brad's choice to take this path brings serious risks. Exposing Nina and Portia isn't just an act of self-preservation, it's a move that could shift the entire balance, both within the family and the society they operate in. Nina and Portia, two powerful figures willing to use any means to protect themselves, won't be easily intimidated. If Brad digs deeper and moves forward with revealing the truth, he may find himself facing threats not only from them but from the underworld connections they've built. Brad is now at a crucial crossroads. If he chooses to go public with everything he knows about Nina and Portia, he won't just face their retaliation, he could become the target of hostility from others who would do anything to keep the truth buried. At the same time, he holds a powerful trump card, information that could change everything. But the question remains, can he pursue the truth without being consumed by its dangerous consequences? Although money is a major motivator, Brad understands that this action will affect not only his life but the lives of everyone involved. Exposing Nina and Portia will not only disrupt family dynamics but could spark larger power struggles, as individuals, families, and organizations begin to take sides. This story could destroy relationships built over years. And even if Brad gains greatly from his accusations, he will also have to rebuild trust and connections with those around him. Brad's decision grows more complex and risky by the day. While he knows revealing the truth could change his fate, he also realizes this isn't a simple act. It could spark a wave of chaos. To fully expose the drugging of Drew, Brad won't just need Drew's support, he must also be mentally prepared for the brutal battles ahead. The secrets he's holding have the power to upend the entire situation, forcing everyone, from families to shadowy organizations, to face tough choices. As these events unfold, Brad will not be a bystander. He will become a central figure in a tense, high-risk story. Bringing Nina and Portia into the light will create seismic shocks, not only surprising many but also launching a fierce power struggle. Everything will begin to shift rapidly. And in the treacherous world of secrets and schemes, no one can predict the full consequences of revealing the truth. Even if Brad receives a large sum of money for his actions, the more important issue is the fallout he will have to face. These decisions could disrupt not only his own life but the foundations of power and secrecy he never intended to challenge. The reckoning for Nina and Portia is only just beginning, and Brad may become the one who determines everyone's fate. Meanwhile, Curtis and Nina's plan is unfolding in a highly tense environment. As both realize they are gambling their entire future on eliminating Drew. Since Drew began to suspect their secrets, both Curtis and Nina have felt seriously threatened. Drew poses not just a danger to their plans, but he also has the power to reveal truths they've tried to bury for a long time. Drew's presence in this story, with his potential to uncover dark realities, has forced Curtis and Nina to act more swiftly and decisively than ever before. Their plan isn't a spur-of-the-moment idea but one meticulously crafted through many sleepless nights and intense conversations. They know that their actions will cause major shockwaves, affecting not only themselves but also their families, friends, and the organizations they're involved with. The alliance between Curtis and Nina may appear strategic, but it carries hidden dangers. Nina, with her cunning nature and undeniable resolve, has proven to be a reliable partner, but she also knows that Curtis is not someone easily manipulated. Curtis, with his sharp instincts and experience, remains cautious of Nina's every move, even though they share the same goal. What makes their plan even more dangerous and insane is how carefully it's been calculated. They don't just want to take Drew down, they want total control of the situation, making him the final piece in their larger scheme. Drew's potential to uncover the secrets behind Nina and Curtis's lives terrifies them. To eliminate Drew, they must act with absolute precision and discretion. Any mistake could unravel everything they've tried to protect. They understand that once Drew is out of the picture, their secrets will be safe. And their families won't have to face threats from those seeking to expose the truth. Nina and Curtis know that every move must be executed perfectly. Any wrong step could allow Drew to escape, or worse, destroy everything they've built. They are prepared to be ruthless, regardless of the consequences, as long as their plan succeeds. Nina won't hesitate to use any means necessary, even the cruelest, to achieve her goals. Curtis, with his cold and decisive nature, is also ready to do whatever it takes to protect himself and those he loves. But it is precisely this alliance between two such calculated individuals that makes the situation even more unpredictable and dangerous. As their plan begins to take shape, another chaotic chapter begins to unfold. Curtis and Nina know that bringing Drew down isn't just a step in their strategy, it's the key to controlling the entire game. They must face not only Drew but anyone who may resist once the truth starts coming out. They'll be up against families, organizations, and enemies who want to expose everything they've done. This plan isn't just a fight for survival, it's a battle to maintain power, control, and the stability of everything they've built. Every move carries danger. And they must accept the reality that if they fail, the cost won't just be Drew's downfall, it could be their own destruction. As this story continues to unfold, Curtis and Nina know they only have one chance to take control. Any slip-up, any trace left behind, could trigger an irreversible catastrophe. All these wild events are proving that this fight is no longer just about power, it's a life-or-death struggle between those trying to protect what they have and those determined to reveal the truth. The plans Curtis and Nina are executing could be the turning point of everything, and once they set things in motion, there will be no turning back. Dante, a man known for his resilience, stoicism, and strength, has always been accustomed to facing major challenges in life. But this time, he is dealing with a situation whose consequences are impossible to predict. When he decides to arrest Gio, his and Brooklyn's son, for reasons he believes are justified, to protect the family and maintain security within the organization, he never imagined that this action would pull him into a situation far more dangerous and complex than anything he had ever faced. Gio is not just a simple individual, as Dante initially thought. He is tied to a web of secrets and conspiracies that Dante could never have imagined. Ever since Joe's appearance, suspicions about his true identity have begun to unravel everything. The deeper Dante investigates Gio, the more he realizes that his assumptions may be entirely wrong. Joe's behavior, the stories he tells, and the secrets behind his sudden appearance begin to reveal a much larger narrative than Dante ever anticipated. Gio is not only Brooklyn's son, he carries with him connections and hidden truths that Dante never knew about, shaking the very foundations of Dante's trust in everything around him. With every secret Gio reveals, Dante feels himself sinking deeper into an uncontrollable conflict. Gio is not merely a pawn in his family's game, he is linked to forces and powers that Dante has yet to fully understand. As the truth slowly comes to light, questions about Joe's true intentions and motivations become more urgent than ever. And the more Dante uncovers, the more he realizes that everything could collapse at any moment. One wrong move, one ill-timed revelation, could destroy everything he has built over the years. These unfolding events not only plunge Dante into deep inner conflict but also entrap him in a dangerous situation from which there may be no easy escape. With each decision he makes, he feels himself edging closer to a point of no return. As a father, a husband, and a family member, Dante is now faced with a brutal choice, between loyalty to his family and the truth behind Joe's secrets. He cannot help but fear what will happen if these secrets are exposed, how it might affect his family's future, especially his relationship with Sonny, and others around them. Joe's story is gradually turning into a tragedy, where each of Dante's decisions has ripple effects not just on himself but on everyone he loves. Anxiety and fear continue to rise within Dante as he realizes that every step he takes could lead to the collapse of his family, the organization, and all the relationships he's worked so hard to build. Gio is no longer just a child within the family, he has become a pivotal figure in a power struggle Dante never saw coming. Joe's presence has triggered sweeping changes within the family. Dante, despite his usual strength, now begins to question himself and those around him. Nothing is simple anymore, and every action he takes could have unforeseen consequences. Joe's involvement not only unearths long-hidden family secrets but may also lead to outcomes Dante cannot predict. The more Dante tries to control the situation, the more he feels trapped in a vortex from which he cannot escape. Meanwhile, tensions between Dante and Sonny are beginning to escalate. Though father and son, both men now face difficult choices as Joe's secrets slowly come to light. Sonny, who has always stood firm in every crisis, must now confront unsettling questions about what he has built and what is unraveling within his family. Dante's decision to arrest Gio has sent shockwaves through the family, as no one could have foreseen the impact this would have on both the organization and their personal lives. The relationship between Sonny and Dante will never be the same again. Every decision Dante makes now puts them both at a major crossroads, one that neither of them is prepared for. Dante is not only confronting Joe's truth but also the terrifying possibility that these secrets could bring down everything they've worked for. The tension and uncertainty keep growing, and Dante begins to see that both the family and the organization are teetering on the edge of irreversible change. Now, Dante must not only deal with problems inside his family but also face a larger power struggle than ever before. The questions surrounding Joe's true identity will be one of the most haunting elements going forward, because they could lead to the breakdown of the family, with consequences no one can predict.